Sasha Fingal, and Jerry is here too, and everybody is here, and I am here as well in Edinburgh. Can't really tell, it's just a wardrobe. Could be anywhere, it could be, but it's not. It's in Edinburgh. Yes. Yay. Yes, happy Scottish Sunday to you too. I'm having quite a good show, yes. It's coming together. I've got people every day, and people have appreciated it and laughed and smiled and come away going, I really enjoyed that show. To be honest, I've also had some walkouts. Some of the walkouts within the first couple of minutes before I've done anything. Some of the walkouts, specifically quite young men, have walked out at the mention of the word looksmaxing. Happened a few times. I thought the first time it was a coincidence, and then I'm like, oh, but they might not have come to the right show. There was other shows that were on in the venue on other days that aren't my day, and they're on my days off, and other people have turned up and gone, is this a musical show? And I've gone, no. Is this a show about Alan Sugar? No. Is this a show about owls? No. But you can come in if you want. No! But that was fun. I think it's coming together. I'm sort of semi-happy with it. I don't know whether, if reviewers came, whether they would be happy with it. But if my audience that has stayed is happy enough with it, then who am I to say that they're wrong? Nobody. I'm nobody. I literally am nobody. So I am nobody, and who are you? You are somebody, but I'm nobody too. Ooh. Ooh. So quick. Tiny wardrobe. Yes, it is a tiny wardrobe. I haven't put anything in it because I'm only here for like 3 weeks. I thought I may as well, if I put things in this wardrobe, I'll forget about it. I'll just leave it there. And then I'll go, no, I left my thing in the wardrobe. So I've just hung up a few coats where I can see them, things that I can see them. I've put some things in the drawers, but not in the wardrobe. So that's what I've done. So, Today, I had a boba tea because I had that voucher. Did you see? I put a video up with a voucher. Oh man, I might not put it here. Anyway, I had a voucher to have 20% off a boba tea. And when I checked on them last week, they were about £8. I was like, don't think so. But I think what they did was factor in the 20% from the voucher because they've gone down. It was the last day of the voucher and they've gone down. But also, there wasn't quite as much in them as the one that I had that was the free sample. That's how they get you. Anyway, I had a boba tea today for my tea. That's what I had. And I had a couple of snacks as well. So I've sort of, I don't know whether eating well is what I've done, but I have eaten semi-sensibly. I am keeping it going. Yeah, so, and I'm just spending the Scottish £10 notes. Now, I tried to spend one of the Scottish £10 notes to get my boba tea. And I gave the person behind the counter the Scottish 10. And then they went, oh, and I went, what? They went, oh, there's not enough change. I can't give you the 8p. It's like, well, I would like the 8p. And they're like, oh, and I said, maybe you give me my £10 back and I'll pay by card. And they were like, no, because we've done the order. It's like, after another couple of minutes of me, I'm not gonna not go. I want my 8p, please. They were like, all right, so then they cancelled it and then they put it through on the card and then they gave me my £10 back, but my £10 was not a Scottish £10 note, so now I can't spend it anymore. So I've saved that money. I haven't because I spent it. I've already spent half of it on the boba tea, but it's gone through my card. So I will save the cash for a later date. Now, normally in my everyday life, because I don't go very far afield, there's nowhere to go. The reason I can save money is because I don't go anywhere to spend the money. So that might last forever now. Because I do spend money, but it's not the cash. And there's not a bank very near to me anymore in order to put the money in. So that is great. So I will have that £10 forever because it'll never go out I've got nowhere to spend it unless I spend it while I'm here, because I don't go anywhere very far, and I tend to use my cash card, and then I well, not rich, but as rich as I can be, because I do not spend money, and that's how you stay not poor. You're already poor, but you're not any more poor because you just sit in your house. If you can't spend money, if you don't spend money but you don't have the money, does that really make you poor? Yes, it does, but it doesn't make you rich. Does it make you? I don't know what it does. Anyway, if you can keep the money and somehow live on air, then that's a good way to be. I don't know. I'm challenged. Oh, that's very nice. That's so lovely of you to say. Yeah. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. It's just weird because the shows that I've done in Edinburgh have been generally well received by those that receive them well, and generally ill received by other people. Now, you can't please everybody, can you? But critically, they haven't been necessarily acclaimed. But socially, with people actually being nice and sort of going, ah, smiling, and going, yay, I enjoyed that. That's all you can hope for, really. And also get Scottish £10 notes. Whee! I've actually made more Scottish £10 notes. This year, I've done 7 or 8. Hang on, how many have I done? Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, didn't do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Did 8 shows so far. And then I'm doing 1 tomorrow, and then I've got a day off, and then I'm doing them again and then I've got the Tuesday off. So I've got 2 more days off, so I've got 12 more shows to go. And hopefully I'll continue getting an audience. I haven't had to cancel any of them, so that's good, because usually I just go, oh well, there's at least one where I'm just, I'm in the room, I don't leave the room, and I might mess about and like try some stuff out and rehearse it or whatever. But generally there's at least one show there's a no-show. I haven't really flyed for it because it's quite early in the morning. It's a difficult time to get people to, it's not early in the morning, it's early afternoon, but it's early for an Edinburgh show, 12:20, so it's the first show of the afternoon, really. First, other people have got slightly early. You know what I mean. It is difficult to get people up and around and watching shows. In a normal course of events, there might be a matinee on Wednesday or Saturday, a Saturday matinee, but most days in normal theatrical and comedy terms and spoken word even, you don't have earlier shows necessarily, which I think you should. I've just been enjoying this because it's like, I like this life, even if some people walk out of my shows and scowl at me, and I think, what have I done to offend them? And they go, oh, why? No, they think I'm going to pick on them. And I wasn't going to pick on them. I was, because yesterday, when I got to the looks maxing bit, and I started talking about it, and I said something about doggy bros, because I got that video in it, that the young lads seemed to think that I meant them, and I didn't mean them. I was just sort of saying it at random. I didn't say it specifically for them. There was already a bit about it. So, I don't know. And this time, the person had walked in, missed the beginning, saw the slide, went straight out. So they didn't even see me say anything about it. So I can't. It's more the subject than me. I can't necessarily take it personally because they came in and went almost entirely back out straight away. Oh, I don't know. Looks maxing is just a funny subject. It's just a stupid thing to do. It's all. What the hell? I can't not talk about it. I could not talk about it. It was a last minute thing. It wasn't in the show like a month ago. I suddenly added it and added a little bit more. My show is about the right length now, which is good. It was running a little bit short, and now it's like, well, that's just a minute or two shorter than it should be. But I am starting it a minute too early, so maybe it's not going cheap. Yes. Oh, well, I'm sure that your ukulele is lovely, but I've only got my Scottish £10 notes, and I'm going to save that until I come to Scotland again. That will be the money that we'll spend next year on my show. Oh, that's gone out. On my show, I've got a lovely ukulele. It's pretty. My dad got me this because I had the pink ukuleles, and he said, "That's a rubbish ukulele. I'm going to get you a good one." And it's like, well, yeah, it's not one that I can plug in though, so it's not really a performance ukulele because it's an acoustic, and there's some that you can put actual sound in, and then you can actually hear them on stage. This isn't one of them. It's nice. It is nice. It's a pretty one. I don't know whether it's any more expensive than the one I had, but the one I had was about £12, so it probably is. Yeah, so this week has been a week since I've seen you. Things have happened, which I won't go into. They are complicated, but I'm over it now. I don't care. But it does mean that I have to make a success of my life at this ancient age. I have to somehow make it work and get it together and try and find a way to go beyond this, and that's easy said than done. But as I was saying, I really enjoy doing the shows, and I want this to happen. This is like the first time that I went to Edinburgh. I felt this too. I want to just do shows every day because this is really good, where I get up and I do a show and I do the preparation, and it would be better if somebody did all the marketing and stuff for me, but whatever. And I do the show, and some people give me some money, and some people don't give me some money, and it sort of gets enough to get a boba tea or whatever, and I'm not starving, and I pay for my way, and just keep on keeping on for as long as possible. And that's pretty good, really, because you can't be expected to be famous or anything like that, because who's famous? Not that many people, and not for that long. And these are things that I would aspire to be doing, like being in films and shows and things like that, but that's not happening. If that's not happening, then just doing a show and just going around and doing stuff, that's fun, and meeting people, and and trying to be the light you wish to see in the world, that sort of thing. Is that the phrase? It is now. So yeah, it's just getting on with it. So this week has been interesting on a lot of levels. I haven't really seen that much of Edinburgh. I have been pretty much, I walked towards the Leith area because I did a gig the other day, and I've walked towards the Lothian Road area because I did a gig there last week. But I've mainly been spending most of the time in and around the sort of Old Town area, and not really venturing further afield than that. Not really going too far. So I need to, I've got another 2 weeks. I should really start to explore a bit more. It's difficult because my show's in the middle of the day. It cuts it in half, really. So, don't know. So Tuesday, I've got things to do, so can't do Tuesday. It's my day off, but it's not my day off. It's my day off from shows, but I've got lots of things I have to do because of the Edinburgh Fringe Society. And that is the big meeting on Tuesday. And then, yeah, so Tuesday I've got off this week, and Wednesday next week. That's right, not Wednesday this week and Tuesday. Make sure that I got the right day off, otherwise I'll turn up for my show and it'll be the Owl Show. I'd like to see the Owl Show, but I can't see the Owl Show because I've got other places to go, which is a shame. I don't know whether it is an owl show. It's just they were doing the tech when I went in this morning, and there seemed to be a slide about an owl. Probably nothing to do with owls. I don't actually know what it is. Maybe it's the Alan Sugar Show. I don't know. Whatever it is, they've got a lot of slides, and it's a very PowerPoint heavy presentation. But they've used real PowerPoint, and I didn't use real PowerPoint. I've used the open source. I've used the open source version of that. Because I'm not paying the money for PowerPoint, because I think you have to get subscription and stuff. It's like, nah. So I've got the offline, free to anyone open source software, which it's not. It is functional. Now I've realised that you can do most of the things that you can do with the expensive software. But you have to work it out, is the thing. Oh, that's the trouble. You have to learn to use things. Learning can be fun. Learning can be fun. Like, I should learn how to play the ukulele. But you learning can be fun if you really listen to yourself and just do stuff. What? I don't know why I'm doing that really. Same old shtick, different day. So yeah, so I wasn't going to do this because I just forgot that it was Sunday. I've lost track of the days. But then I was like, oh, I may as well. So I could have gone out and watched shows, but I left it a bit too late because I was faffing about with my I want my change in the Boba tea shop. It was quite late in the day at that point. But I meant to see somebody I did tech for a few years ago when they did Renfield. And I did the tech really just involves me pressing a couple of buttons and shooing people away so they didn't destroy the show because there was a lot of people in the corridor. But I didn't do tech. I didn't offer to do tech this year because it's too much responsibility doing things for other people's shows. And I think they might have needed more tech than just pressing buttons really. And I messed it up the last time anyway. It's like, I could wait and then I could press this. And it's, no, the phone's locked. It's all gone wrong. So it was more complicated than it needed to be. But this one I think has got more tech because this year they're doing Vampires of Mississippi, which sounds very interesting, and I've got to go and see that at some point. But this person who's done 2 shows about vampires, and I would have thought would be the ideal sort of person that would like Anne Rice's Vampires and the Vampire Lestat. They're interested in other vampires, and they said they went to see Carmilla show at the Fringe, and they said it wasn't that vampire-y, and I don't think the book is that vampire really. And I was like, yeah, you should watch Interview with the Vampire. I know you haven't read it, but you should watch it. They're like, yes, I should. It's like, yes, you should. So he said that he's a bit busy for the Fringe, so he hasn't watched that. It's like, So I've got 3 people that I've tried to persuade to watch it. It's because I want to talk about it with people, but nobody's watching the things that I watch. It's like, nobody cares. Nobody cares. But I think it's worth watching. Anyway, I've seen it all now. There's not anything left to watch, which is very sad. When you've seen everything of something, it's like there's none left. You have to wait until they got new stuff. And there isn't new stuff. So I will go and see Vampires in Mississippi possibly on Wednesday or Thursday. Yeah, that'd be good. Let me in. Let me in. Yes, I've seen Let Me In. Have I seen this? It's like the Swedish one and an American one. Which one have I seen? I've seen one of them. I'm pretty sure. I might have seen both of them, but it's been a while. Yeah, I have seen Let Me In. I like all that sort of things. I like sort of soft monster horror. Like, I don't like gory horror, but I like the psychological horror, and I also like sexy vampires. Very superficial, me. And I don't care what manner of sexy vampires they are. They're all sexy vampires, every single one of them, because they're sexy vampires. Anyway, yeah, but I don't really, I mean, I like Frankenstein, the versions of Frankenstein, but there hasn't been like a purely, even the ones that are nearer to the book haven't really done a faithful adaptation. But then again, Interview with the Vampire and the Vampire Lestat aren't necessarily faithful reproductions of the source material. But I don't think they need to be honest. It's like, if there's something in their own right, then they can be better. I don't think they've had a better version of Frankenstein than the book. The book, I think, is better than most of the versions, but there have been interesting versions. Obviously, the 1930s one were interesting in a bit. Hello, greetings, Scott. Yes, so you people here, lots of people here. You should come to Edinburgh one year. It's just yeah, I don't think I'm going to get to go to the seaside this time because it's, as I said, because my show's in the middle of the day, it cuts it off. Whereas, you know, if you want a day out, you have to sort of set off early and make sure everything's done, and then you can come back mid-afternoon. Whereas if I leave it till after my show, by the time I get there, it's maybe, you know, the tides come in and there's nothing left to see. I'm just like, oh, there's a fish. But can't get on the beach, just sort of looking at it from afar. But yeah, I don't know. I might go to Leith one day because there's also a load of shows, and Leith is I haven't been to Leith for a little while, and I think it's changed since the last time I went there. So I might do that. And there's a lot of shows, lots of things, lots of cafes and culture. It's it's up for the City of Culture apparently in next year or the year after. Walter's, yes, the Scott, yeah, that's really good. But I had a panic attack on the stairs. Well, you know, it is. I have got a thing about heights, and I've got a thing about spiral staircases. So it's the sort of everything coming together with the Scott Memorial, because there's got a lot of heights and a lot of very narrow staircases. And if you're going up and people are coming down, then you're pretty much trapped because they're not really wide enough for people to get past. So I think they needed, probably, maybe they have now, more of a crowd control, so they don't let people up until they've let people down, really, because it was scary. It's like when I work a couple of times that I've climbed Arthur's Seat, and I'm like, this time it won't be scary, and everyone's like, what's wrong with you? It's easy to climb. And every single time I found it not easy to climb, even when I've taken the easy route up. Like the first one was so just it got to a certain point, and it's like the last bit, it's like you're la 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 la, the nice path, and then the very last bit, it's really, really steep, and it's like because you feel like you're going to fall off it. And then the other way was just clambering up rocks, and then the last way is like there is a sort of gentle slope up, which is pretty much just like I'm there. But I don't think I've gone down that way, but I don't think I've gone up that way. And so there is an easy way, I granted, and I can see, they go, even little babies can climb. It's like, well, if they go that way, they can. If they go any of the other ways that I've gone, I don't think that the babies could, unless they're like rock climbing babies, or babies that are really death-defying, not scared by heights babies. I think, anyway. So yeah, so I think it's not that long ago since I went up Calton Hill, and but I've never really explored the sort of story about the lad from Leith that goes up Calton Hill and disappears into the mountain because he goes around in a certain way. And he disappears into the mountain. Yeah. So I don't know where he would have disappeared into the mountain, because it's a myth. It's obviously not true, but yeah. So that's not so high as Arthur's Seat. And also Arthur's Seat was on fire a couple of weeks ago, so it's looking a little bit bare and looking very volcanic, which of course it is really. What disappears? The Leith lad disappears into the mountain in the folktale, that he's like, everyone goes, don't go around Calton Hill, don't travel around. If you're going to go up Calton Hill, just go straight up. Don't go round it, because the fairy folk will get you and you'll disappear. And he goes, I don't believe that nonsense. And he goes, and then he disappears. SNL. Yes. Okay, yeah. All right, Aaron Finkel, I don't think I've seen that sketch, but yeah. So yeah, I feel very at home in Edinburgh, because I know my way around most bits. Though Leith, I haven't explored as much as I should, or that I have. Like the second or the third time that I stayed down that end in a hostel, I did get lost in the docks before they were redone. I mean, they've been redeveloped. They were still quite rough and scary at that time, because it was a long time in the past. And I don't know whether... Right, so when I was there, I got lost. I'd taken the wrong bus, and I was like, I don't know where I am. It's just on the docks, and it was like terrifying, and it was cold, and it was rainy. And I saw a short person wearing a red mac, and I thought, oh my God, because I've seen Don't Look Now, and I realised, obviously, it's not anything from Don't Look Now, but I got really terrified. But then I thought, no, suck it up. So I asked that person for directions, and they told me the way back. So it's like reason overcomes silliness. So it's like this tiny person wearing the red mac was helpful. And I said to somebody this the other day, and they went, oh, I've met the husband of the person in the Don't Look Now, that the terrifying person in the red mac. So they met the husband of the person that actually played that. It's like, that's interesting. Yeah, because I don't know whether you've seen Don't Look Now, but spoilers, they think it's their daughter that's drowned, and it's not. It's just a random person that's short of stature and not actually terrifying, but terrifying if you're expecting your dead daughter, which is terrifying in itself, really. Anyway, it's a bit weird, which is one of the things that I remember when I was a child, my parents were talking about seeing it, so I knew what happened in it because they said it was scary. So yeah, I probably well before I should have known about scary films and trauma and stuff like that, I already knew what the plot points were and what happened. Spoilers. There you go, spoilers, it's too late. It's an old film, so if you haven't seen it by now, you probably weren't going to see it. And if you do, then I've just spoiled it. I'm sorry, I've spoiled it. Well done me for ruining it for you. Anyway, so I don't know what I'm going to do. I think maybe, because last Sunday, I was just going to stay in after this, but then something happened and I couldn't get the internet in the house, so I just left the house and I went up and I met some people and I stayed out a little bit longer. So maybe I'll do that. That'll be exciting, won't it? But I should definitely explore more in the next week. So maybe I will. But I'm not promising anything. I haven't really made as much video as I wanted to do because I've seen it all. You've seen it all. What's left to see? I mean, there must be lots left to see. Just what is it? Finding it. That's the thing. All right. Well, I am going to get on with my night, and which is probably going to involve me sleeping, to be honest. But it might not. It might be something more exciting, and I'll go out and find adventure and go, wow, hooray, and network with people. And then get somebody that's going to give me a film deal, and I'll be in. I don't really want to be in the next Avengers or anything like that. But I mean, I wouldn't say no, obviously. But there's things that I would like to be. An indie film that also pays. Because I've been in the indie films that don't necessarily pay. And although it's great as experience, it doesn't really lead to anywhere, and you don't feel very rich at the end of it, really. So, oh yes, go and do your chores, and good to see you too, and everyone have a lovely, lovely, lovely rest of the Sunday. I don't know what time it is where you are. You might have hours left. I haven't got that many hours left of this night. So have a good weekend. Yes, have more fun. Yes, I do. Yes, I will meet lots of nice vampires that don't necessarily drain me. That's what I will do. Sex and vampires. All right then. See ya. Bye-bye.